Jorge, we ready? Let's call the October 16th, 2023 meeting of the Dalton City Council to order. Mr. Parker will lead us in the pledge. To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Dennis, you there? Dennis? Dennis there?
There he is. He's coming on.
The agenda is before you. Any additions, corrections, deletions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Goodlett, second by Mr. Farrer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, I'm here.
There's no cards from the public. Minutes of the October 2nd, 2023 meeting are before you. Any additions, corrections, deletions?
Move we approve.
Motion by Mrs. Farrer, second by Mr. Goodlett. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Like sign. Under unfinished business, number 2, second reading ordinance 23-22 donation drop boxes. We'll take action on this tonight.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. As stated in our last meeting, this ordinance will close a loop that was created whenever we abolished the permit fees a couple of years back with the donation bins. This ordinance will outright prohibit bins with the exception of locations that have a 501c3. And those exceptions for those businesses that have those exceptions, there'll be requirements that such as the bin will have to abut to the building, so it's not out in the middle of parking lot. There's also size limitations with those. They can't be any larger than a 5x5 5x5 bin, so that you don't have furniture and stuff like that. Everything has to be inside of a bin, and all of this is in efforts to keep the city looking clean and neat. Anything that can't fit in a bins, the businesses will be required to store those things inside. They also have to be emptied on a regular basis and kept clean as well. This ordinance also establishes a maximum fine for those that violate the ordinance.
So we're like place like Providence that have like the furniture outside. Do they have to start moving all that stuff in?
That's correct. That's correct. At the time that those items are dropped off, they have to be stored inside. They cannot be dropped off outside.
Fine.
Maximum fine is $1,000.
Any other questions? Your motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Goodlett. Second, Mr. Farrer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Under new business, demolition agreement and easement for 2001 Tampico Way.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is an agreement to take down a couple of the abandoned signs located at the stated address 2001 Tampico Way. This is at the corner, down in the hole at the corner of 41 and Sugar Road. This is a part of our nuisance abatement program, and this agreement will be made between the city and the current owner of the property. And there's pictures included of the signs that will be removed. Public Works will assist in doing that as well. There'll be a crane rented. All hard costs will be reimbursed back to the city as a result of removal, and the owner will reimburse the city.
Any questions? Your motion? Move. Motion by Mr. Farrer.
Second.
Second, Mr. Goodlett. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 4, Prime Engineering Professional Services Agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. As you recall, back in February, the council adopted Resolution 2301 to transfer ownership of 900 South Hamilton Street, which was the old Aladdin property down on South Hamilton Street, to the JDA for construction of a housing development. The JDA, Carl Campbell and his team have been working diligently last week to get a grant application into DCA's Rural Workforce Housing Initiative to fund the cost of the infrastructure associated with the project, which is just over $1.5 million. To facilitate the grant requirements, the city will be responsible for designing the public roads within the subdivision that you see on the screen there. And our design scope will be limited to just those improvements within the right of way. So streets, curbs, drainage pipes, drainage conveyances, erosion control, and sidewalk. The JDA is going to contract the design of the site grading, the common stormwater facilities and yard areas. The city's portion of this agreement with Prime Engineering is $22,300, and we're going to fund this through some available funding in the Economic Development Fund.
Any questions?
I move we approve.
Motion, Mr. Farrer,
Second.
second by Mr. Goodlet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 5, professional service agreement with March Adams and Associates for City Hall HVAC.
Good evening. Our capital budget includes monies to have the HVAC system of this building replaced. In order to do that, we need professional guidance from mechanical engineers and HVAC engineers. And that would, I would suggest and recommend that we sign the contract with March Adams out of Chattanooga. We're familiar with them, and if I'm not mistaken, they have a current contract with the city to provide the same services for a different building.
Which building?
John Davis,
John
they're
Davis.
doing all the
Yes,
mechanical
sir.
design for the rec center.
So this doesn't involve any of the actual cost of putting the system in.
This is a percentage of actually what the final project cost is, up to 8%, or not up to, it is 8% of the final project cost.
So whoever we get to do this will actually do the project as well.
They will do what March Adams will do is they'll do the scope of work. They will have the pre-construction walkthrough. They'll prepare the bid specs. They'll review the bids, score the bids, and they'll also oversee the construction and installation and removal, in fact, of the old system.
I understand.
Any other questions? Is there a motion?
So move.
Motion, Mr. Goodlet,
Second.
second by Mr. Farrer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Number 6, mill line change order number 4.
Good evening. This change order is requesting funds that will allow us to allow the contractor to install conduit and do the trenching of the conduit for lights along the mill line. It is roughly 9,400 feet and it's $8.97 per foot. So we're looking at 85,000 for this change order to allow the contractor to move forward with the trenching.
If I could just add, we purposely made this not part of the original design because we didn't want the city to have to encumber the cost of an engineer to do the design when Dalton Utilities typically provides that for free. And they were given a chance also to have their contractors quote this project, but our GC proposal was less than what the Dalton Utilities proposal was. So this was the lowest bid.
Any other questions?
Move we approve.
Motion,
Second.
Mr. Ferris, second, Mr. Goodlet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 7, GA 811 membership agreement.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This request has become a member of the Georgia 811. As of recent, the Georgia Underground Facilities Protection Act has been updated to require mandatory membership by local governing authorities who own or operate traffic control devices to start performing utility locates on their infrastructure. In order to do so, we must first become a member of Georgia 811 by executing this agreement. This has been reviewed and approved by the city attorney's office.
We didn't have to do this before.
No, the contractor lobby has fought the last 3 or 4 years to make traffic signal infrastructure part of the law, and the legislature has not approved it until recently. There was a lot of pushback from cities because this is an unfunded mandate that we're going to have some cost in the 2024 budget surrounding to provide these services.
When you say provide these services are for ourselves?
You want to explain that?
So it's essentially, so now anytime that we go out and perform any excavation, we have to call 811. So they'll come out and perform a utility locate primarily for fiber, gas, water, sewer. It protects us from damaging those existing lines. So now when a contractor calls in for a utility locate, Public Works will physically have to go out and locate its existing infrastructure to keep other contractors or excavators from damaging it. And if we don't do so, I think the fines start out at $200 each occurrence.
Why would we not want to do that?
Oh, we definitely want to.
But you
Yeah.
said it was an unfunded mandate. or whatever.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to,
Utilities already does that, right?
Yes, but they've
They-
been required to do so. for
they have
20 years.
always, yeah, been required. The prior law just placed the burden really on the contractor to get with us, and now they can simply submit a ticket and we'll have to send a locator out, which we don't have a locator on staff, so we're gonna have to hire one.
So before this, the utilities would come out, but then they wouldn't, when they were
But-
digging, know if they were gonna hit some of our stuff or not.
Right,
Right.
nothing on traffic signal infrastructure was ever located, so it was essentially on the excavator to reach out to us if they thought that they were in the area of traffic signal wiring or any low voltage that we may own.
So a question like, like sometimes we go out and maintain like on the bypass, which is not ours. Will we still have to wait for the state to come or would y'all,
We will not be locating the state intersections.
okay.
So what's this gonna cost?
We already have the equipment in-house to do so, but we do not have the staff to do so. Plus, there's gonna be a lot of upfront engineering costs so we can get these located with our GPS unit. So we're thinking that one additional employee on top of what we have now can cover it.
Any special training, anything like that?
The hopes is no, we hope to hire an employee with that experience. We do have some experience with our current staff, but there's definitely going to be a learning curve associated.
The other potential,
Know where these are?
We do, but the excavators, our contractors do not.
the other thing that may come before the council, if we can't find somebody, there are third-party services that provide the locating. For example, Windstream, I think, and Spectrum and Dalton use a third-party locator, but that comes, with an annual contract to pay them to do this for us if we can't find somebody that either has the required training or that we can train.
Well,
If we already know where they are, what, I don't understand. You say
We know the general area that they're in. We have a very small window. Once we put our locate marks on the ground, they have to be within 1 foot of accuracy. If the excavator hits it, then it's essentially on us. And if if it's not located properly, I believe that there's fines that can be imposed on us as well.
I guess you're gonna look at the cost of contracting it out versus doing it in-house and include all the benefits you'd have to pay another employee and all that.
We're currently actually working through that as part of the budget.
I make a motion to approve.
motion by Mr. Goodlet,
I second.
second by Mr. Fair. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Number 8, contract with Spectra Contract Flooring Tile Cleaning for Public Works.
Yes, this is the annual renewal for the tile cleaning. I guess we'll lump both of these together if possible.
Yep.
For the tile and carpet cleaning for the public works facilities. For the tile, it is $1,449.03 a year. And for the carpet, it is $4,113.22 per year. This price has remained the same for a number of years. With that, I'll take any questions.
How often do they do that?
I believe it's once a quarter on the carpet, and I'm not certain on the tile cleaning frequency.
Any other questions? Your motion?
So moved.
Motion-
Second.
This is on 8 and 9 both. Motion by Mr. Ferris, second by Mr. Goodlet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Number 10, Saratine Plant Concrete Pipelining Project Contract Award to Pro Shot Concrete, Inc.
This request is to award the contract to construct the improvements proposed by ProShot Concrete for the Sarantine Plant Concrete Pipelining Project. ProShot Concrete, Inc. scored the highest in proposal rankings as part of our RFP with a total score of 96 out of 100 points. The work is to be completed within 18 months following the authorization of notice to proceed of the contractor. This has been reviewed and approved by the Public Works Committee as well as the City Attorney's Office.
Is this the same firm that's been lining the other pipes for us?
No, this is actually a different firm,
What is?
but they had good reference checks, as what I
Yeah,
understand.
very good reference checks, and they've done quite a bit of work around the state of Georgia.
Any other questions?
I move we approve.
Second.
Mr. Ferris, second by Mr. Goodlet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 11, resolution 23-20, adoption of the Whitfield County Joint Comprehensive Plan 24 through 28.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think Ethan Calhoun is on Zoom with us, but as you'll recall, last month, Ethan conducted a public hearing here at City Hall to review the comprehensive plan update, which is required by the Georgia Planning Act of 1989. We update this plan every 5 years, send it to DCA, and the primary revisions were updating DCA on the projects completed the last 5-year period and projecting projects over the next 5 years. It also takes in some of the information from Believe Greater Dalton's surveys, as well as the housing plan and some of the data from that, and incorporates into the plan. And this is a joint plan, Whitfield County, Dalton, Cohutta, Tunnel Hill, Varnell. Ethan, do you have anything else to add?
No, sir, Andrew, I think that's a great summary of the plan process. I will say that just to put a feather in the hat for Dalton and Whitfield as well, that the stakeholder committee that was assembled for the plan was an outstanding group of folks, and it's one of the best that I've had the pleasure to work with in some time now. I just wanted to really brag on everybody and the Believe Greater Dalton initiative and how we were able to incorporate a number of different things together. And I think build a really good, robust plan for the city for the next 5 years, but even looking out further than that, the plan tends to look out to about 20 years with a 5-year update. So I just wanted to say thanks to everyone involved. And by adopting it tonight, we'll be able to send that forward to the Department of Community Affairs with the adoption resolutions. And the city will have effectively, as of tonight, should this resolution be approved, met the deadline of October 31st, and therefore will be awarded an extension for their qualified local government status to be eligible for all those grants, federal and state grants and permits.
Any questions of Andrew or Ethan? Their motion?
Move we approve. Second.
Mr. Ferris, second, Mr. Goodlet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. There being no supplemental business, I'll entertain a motion. We adjourn.
So move.
We adjourn.